at first layer of logic and second layer of logic. The first layer of logic says, if Chinese are doing what Paul is experiencing, and I can tell you, I can invite you to go to Brazil, to go to UK, go to the United States, anywhere that you go or have gone over the past 15 to 20 years, you would have heard the same thing. So Chinese did, over the past 15 years, change the game. And in so doing, they also challenged the question of so-called classic economics that you refer to. Subsidies are not good, they are not sustainable, and free market globally bought to that. And it had worked for a while. But then if you go to the second layer of logic, would tell you, well, you can't have at the global stage somebody playing soccer and others playing rugby, and they're hoping to settle something. Chinese ignore every rule, and then the rest have to abide by the rule. And to the extent that our government, not just South African government, many, many governments globally, have got themselves into this conflict of policy objectives. On the one hand, if you're in South Africa 1994 or in 2004, in 2014, you do need global capital. Global capital doesn't like to go places where there are all kinds of restrictions, all kinds of protections. So then you're caught between, do I keep the industries that I have through subsidies, support, all kinds of restrictions? And bear in mind that restrictions is an infinite regress, meaning you start with good intentions, supporting your local industries, slap 20% imports on that, 30% on that, and before you know, the line between that and foreign exchange control are so long, very quick. In other words, if governments get into the stage of controlling, manipulating, supporting this and that, interest groups pop up, not only in ArcelorMittal and in auto industry. Farmers want subsidies, and then how long is a piece of string? Before you know, the whole macroeconomic policy becomes very much similar to what we had under apartheid. And as soon as you do that, then you're short of capital. Now, if you're China and you're sitting on huge local reserves, your savings rate is 40, 45%, you can tell the rest of the world, go and jump, I don't need it. But if you're in South Africa where your savings rate at best can support 12% national investment and you need to bring triple, at least double that from the rest of the globe, you can't tell them, go and jump. So we run into policy consistency. This is the second layer of logic. You can't start by supporting your selected industries, because other industries with also very good reasons. For example, farmers would say, hey, support us. You know why? Because Europeans are supporting their agribusiness. And farm workers are as desperate as steel workers. Don't take care of the urban area, take care of the rural area. Can you argue with that? We can't. So politicians find themselves into that quagmire of where do you stop and what policy framework do you choose that can straddle between this competing interests. So that's the second layer of logic. Is it applicable? Classic economics? No, it's not, because we are not living in a world of classic economics. Can we then follow the Chinese route of ignoring all the basics? The answer is, if you're a poor country, you don't have those options. So you have to select policies that would maximize your interest and not just follow the Chinese route